All right, guys, we are looking at the Kizer Towser K. Super excited to get into this one. I picked this up recently on their Kizer clearance event sale, and man, was it worth it. So let's go ahead and dive into today's review. All right, we're kicking it off first with a couple of budget knife comparisons. We got the Vosteed Hedgehog on the bottom here. Very similar. Both of these are small EDCs. And then you have the CJRB Prado on the top for your size references. Just a couple more size references here. You got the Benchmade Bug Out with the Applied Weapon Tech scales on the bottom. And on the top, you have the Mannix Lightweight also with the Applied Weapon Tech scales on there. So you can see this is definitely more of a small EDC. I consider this more medium, right at the bottom end of a full size, and I consider the Mannix too lightweight of full size. Okay, so now we're doing profile. You can see here it's going to carry very shallow in the pocket, but that deep carry fold over pocket clip, which is going to be nice for those that like a smaller EDC that doesn't take up a lot of pocket space. And then you can see here that it is just slightly with those full steel liners and the rich light scales, just a little bit thicker than your Hedgehog, and it is definitely going to be thicker than the Bug Out with the Applied Weapon Tech scales. So that'll give you a nice idea as far as the size. Let's go ahead and weigh the knife. All right, we got the scale here. Make sure that that is zeroed out. Check that weight. Not bad, coming in at 4 ounces. You know, considering that you have steel liners, steel hardware with a pretty decently sized 154 cm blade on here, the weight is really not bad at all. Let's go ahead, take it down to the garage and do a little bit of cutting with it. All right, let's see what this Towser S is all about. You guys know I really do appreciate and enjoy some 154 cm from Kizer. Really good factory edge. Feels like it's a slicey guy. Let's go ahead and check it out on the denim first. We'll go ahead and see how it does with some tabletop cutting. It does have some belly, so I imagine it's going to cut really well. Yeah, straight through, no issues whatsoever. A little bit of pressure, and now I'm able to get straight through that denim, guys. Nice. This is definitely going to be a worker. Let's check it out on the zip tie here on the table. Very nice. Got a lot of bite. This edge feels very nice from the factory. Yeah, nice. Now, everyone's favorite here, we're just going to run it through a little bit of cardboard and just see what it feels like going through the cardboard. Yeah, it's a slicer, guys. Good geometry. Moves through that cardboard very easily, very easily. This cardboard here has been sitting out for a little bit, so it is a little soft trying to get through to it, but the edge just biting and slicing. Biting and slicing, feeling good. Let's check out that tip. Oh yeah, nice acute tip. Even going through all these previous cuts on the cutting board, no issues whatsoever. Very easily able to change the angles. Very nice. And it's not a ton of cutting, but I always like to demonstrate after a little bit of cutting what the edge looks like. Yeah, very nice edge. No issues whatsoever. It is rolling, but I think that might be me hitting the sharpening tool. Let's just check real quick. Yeah, I think it's just me hitting that sharpening tool. Overall, yeah, keep running into it. Overall, though, it does feel really nice and slicey. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it back on up to the table. Okay, we're back up from the garage. We'll jump into the review in just a second. Let's go ahead and do our customary 3 whacks. Nice. Reset that lock because it is a test. It is not meant to be done intentional like you are batoning with the knife. Nice. Passed. All 3 flying colors. All right. As I try to drop that, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Ergonomics on this thing are really, really good. I like the jimping. It's not aggressive. I would call it a moderate jimp here on there. So you have it running all the way up to just before it curves out. So you got plenty of spaces to land on here depending on what it is that you want to do. For me, I would have liked them to carry it over the tip here, but it probably wouldn't have looked great because it would have really come in handy with that pinch grip. But it is nice for the pinch grip. It's very comfortable. My hand is very relaxed in the pinch grip position. In hand, very comfortable. You got that nice forward finger choil to land in. I don't feel that the edge of the blade is really touching my finger in any way, shape, or form when I'm up here. So I do appreciate that. Very nice for the trigger pull. And even if you need to go up to the second knuckle if you got to power through a push cut. So I like that a lot. It is a steel fold over clip, and it lays flat on the scale. So I'm not really sure why they didn't just go ahead and make it reversible, guys. I think it would have been an easy thing to do just to drill it out, but if you're competent in any way, shape, or form, you can really add that yourself if you really wanted to go lefty. Yeah, you don't want to buy a knife that isn't already able to do that from the factory. I get it, but if you really liked this one, especially at the price point, which we'll jump back into in just a moment, it's not bad at all. I like this pattern. It's nice. It doesn't feel like it's smooth when you run your fingers across it, but when you actually get a hold of it in hand, they did a good job with this pattern because you actually can feel it kind of gripping onto the skin, both in the palm and out on the fingertips. So it is confident in that regard. In the pocket clip, I can feel it move slightly when I grip really, really hard, but it doesn't move a ton. I was a little surprised that it moved, and I even messed around with it a little bit just to make sure that it wasn't like just me sliding around, but I can feel it kind of shift ever so slightly when you grip on it. It isn't awful. Like, I don't want to make it seem like it's a bad thing, but I was shocked that it moved at all. It goes in and out of the pocket nicely. We'll go ahead and grab the hank to demonstrate that as well. So you can see here, it's got plenty of clearance, so it's going to get past that lip of the jean. It's going to go in very easily, and then the retention on it is really good. It doesn't easily come out. So it does a nice job holding itself in place, even though it is a budget steel clip. It works really, really well. So I do appreciate the fact that they designed it well, even though they're trying to keep the budget low on this one. The thumb studs, really nice here. I like Kizer's thumb studs. It reminds me of the thumb studs that you find on that drop bear. So you can really dig into it here. Got nice leverage. It's below the pivot and it just fires out. I tried to fail it, and you have to ramp up so much that it would be hard to do even if you're trying to do it on purpose. Reverse flick is okay. It's not quite as much clearance on this side, and that has to do with the fact that they left a little bit of the material there for you to be able to access the liner lock. That liner lock is locking up at about 40%, and you do have really good access to it. It's very easy to manipulate depending on your preference for the disengagement, and I like that a lot, especially for the drop shut. It has this little piece here, so when you drop, it lands right on the thumb, even if you're a little bit low. So that keeps it from falling onto the fingernail or onto your finger depending on your angle, and it makes it very easy to manipulate and control. The steel liners here are not relieved very much on the lock bar side, so nothing unusual here. And actually, I take that back. I didn't see it before, and let me show it to you because I was looking at it like you are seeing me look at it, but it does have, let's see, where's the angle? There you go. Pretty decent. It didn't look like it in the dark, but that's my fault. I should have looked at it in the light. And then you got a big solid relief cut and a small relief cut going on the show side. Let me see. There you go. So there's the big relief cut, and then there's a little smaller one right there behind the blade. So they did a good job with the relief cuts. So I'm surprised that it's 4 ounces, but then when you look at how beefy the blade shape is with this sheep's foot blade, and it is curved. So do I have something that I can show you on? I guess I can lay the flashlight back out here, right? So when you set that down, you can see that there's light past the blade's edge on both sides. So sheep's foot blade shape, it really performed well cutting through the little bit of task that you saw on camera, and then I've done some cutting with it off camera, and I've really enjoyed the 154 cm. The finish on here, you got a more polished belt satin finish going on here, so you can see the side grinds, and then where the grind is here, you got the belt satin finish going down low. The plunge grind is way back here, so you got sharpening life on here for days. It doesn't have like a dedicated lanyard hole, but looking at this, I think you could potentially get a lanyard onto that second one and it would kind of come over that barrel spacer there. It's T8 hardware throughout except for the pocket clip. The pocket clip is T6, and this was on sale during their clearance event for $37. So I got the mini October for 31, I think it was 31, and then I got the Kizer Genie for 37 and the Kizer Towser S, sorry, if I was saying K all this time, it's Towser S, and that one was 37 also. And I think these are phenomenal deals. They outprice Syncut, which you're getting 9CR and D2 with, and you're getting either G10 micarta and sometimes aluminum for the button locks. And I think this is just phenomenal value, guys. Absolutely incredible. Let's take a peek inside real quick. So on this one here, I already did the disassembly as soon as it came in. I disassembled, cleaned and lubed it because it had a little bit of lock stick going on, and it felt gritty, not like it was not able to be moved. And that to me was an indicator that it had a little bit of oil on the lock bar. So I took it apart immediately to, oh, that's right, I do remember now. You do need to take the pocket clip off. This spacer in here has a T6 on it, which is actually good. It just means that it's more heavily reinforced. So you got 3 bolts. I forgot about the hidden one for a second, but it had a little bit of oil on the lock bar. Nothing crazy. It was very easy to deal with for my scale makers out there that are interested to see what it looks like. You have the hidden bolt hole here that you see right here, and you have the bolt that came out already that was externally exposed, and then it looks like it's meant to have a lanyard. Wait a second. Am I crazy? Did they forget to put... Oh, I get it. It goes halfway through. So my apologies earlier for the comment that it didn't have a spot for a lanyard. I totally get how they're making it now. It comes in through the back, so not to impede on the show side. So that would probably also be why this particular design didn't have a reversible pocket clip. My goodness, I forgot how tight the tolerances are here. There you go. So there's what it looks like on the inside for you guys. I will make sure to zoom in on that, but check that out. You have multi-row bearings, just like you do on the Towser K. So really, really nice. I'm going to go ahead while I'm here, because I am seeing that it is dry right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean that out, and then clean out the lock bar as well. It looks like it's pretty well lubed, but what I'm going to do, since it's breaking in and I see the track forming already, instead of putting it directly on the bar, because I don't want it to get on the lock bar interface, I'm just going to take the little bit of lube I have on here and just dab a little bit atop of the ball, to make sure that I don't have any excess going on there. So let me dry my fingers. We'll put it back together, and then we'll be right back. All right, so we're back from that disassembly. I just wanted to touch up the lock bar detent ball just a little. It had a little excess oil, and I like to make sure that I don't have any grittiness or anything like that going on. Bottom line on this one, at the original asking price at about 70-ish bucks, it was a good buy. Nice 154 cm with premium finishes on here. Really beautiful milled rich light with really reinforced steel liners here. So even though it is small, it was definitely more of a hard worker. It would be easily justified at that price picking this one up. During their clearance sale, where this one was $37, this is a no remorse, easy justification to make. This is an absolute home run at that price point. You will be hard pressed to find this build quality with those multi-row bearings, with these thumb studs in action, with this steel on it at this price point. I can't believe I missed the lanyard hole clips just onto the pocket clip side scale. I get why they kept this clean now. But I think it would be an easy mod if you really like it and you're a lefty and you wanted to, to make it available to you, especially at that $37 price point. It's really hard to recommend anything else, guys, at this price point. It's an excellent buy. I wanted to get it because I really enjoy my Roxy 3, and I don't have that on the table, but the Vosteed Hedgehog, this to me is going to be an excellent addition to the companion carry knives, and these are going to be ones that are going to be actually very usable workers. They might be small, but they are built really tough, and they feel like they're ready to put in a lot of hard work. And personally, I really just thought that having something with a little bit of Richlight on in the collection would be fun to do. So I'm so glad that I was able to grab this one. Hopefully they're just gearing up to do other versions and variants of this one, because honestly, it is a great little knife. It's going to be great for people that have smaller hands. It is going to work, as you can see, perfect for me with folks with the larger hands. And it's just, I really have enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed checking these models out from Kizer at a serious discount that I have not been able to check out before. I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity to see these. So let me know what you think about the Towser S down in the comments below. And a special thanks to everyone for watching to this point. It helped the algorithm. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like. And if you're not subscribed, please join. Love to have you on. And a very special thank you to all of my channel members out there. That membership goes a long way to helping this channel. I'm very grateful for that. I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.